All right, I just got off of a meeting with a major who has been asked by many of her troops how to calculate Army Reserve retired pay, and she wasn't able to do it. So we had a meeting, and I showed her how to do it. And then after the meeting, I said, you know what? How hard is it? There should be calculators everywhere. There's calculators for everything, right? Calculators for every single thing you could possibly imagine. So I put in Army Reserve Retirement Calculator, and then AI thing came up, um, which this 2.5 years is already wrong, but it does say My Army benefits. And I've sat through several My Army benefits presentations, and their retirement calculator is awesome. So I went in there and I tried to log in, and it says you are not eligible for an Army retirement. And I'm like, duh, I'm a civilian employee. So apparently, it checks your eligibility first. So that's probably why it's the best calculator. But she said that that calculator has a bunch of questions that she didn't know the answers to. Um, so there's that. So I looked at DFAS, Finance and Accounting. That's where I used to work before this, and it has this whole thing here. It has some. This is actually pretty good right here. This is actually pretty good. This person has 7,200 points divided by 360 equals 20 years, and then at 2.5 times 20 years. Again, the 2.5 is the legacy, but this isn't exactly a calculator. This is just the formulas. Um, you would have to pull out your pencil and paper and do it yourself. I looked through several of these, and I found this one pretty simple, which pretty much anybody can use. So I will walk you guys through this one, but then I will also do the manual version, because the manual version actually you can figure out what you're doing a lot easier. So let's say you were born January 2000, which puts your retirement date at 2060. Why does it put your retirement date at 2060? That's actually not your eligible retirement date. That is when you start receiving your money. You will become eligible after 20 good years. As you guys all know, 20 good years. 50 points is a good year. You get 20 of those, and you can enter what's called the gray area, or you could keep drilling, keep doing your thing, keep getting deployed, and then whenever you call it quits, which is probably going to be sometime well before 2060, that's your retirement date, and then when you actually receive your money is January 2060. The reason why I say that's your retirement date is that's when you stop accruing points. That's when you stop accruing rank, and then that's where it actually stops. We take a snapshot of that. So this 2060 is already a little bit misleading. This is when this person will actually receive their money. Okay. First entered military service. Let's just put that at 18. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. All right, 20 good years. Let's say he did 22 good years. 22 good years. See, it doesn't move very much. See how it doesn't move the money? Estimated points of retirement. The 1,000 is the minimum because you need 20 good years and 50 points per year. That's 1,000 points. 1,000 points is the minimum. So let's jack this up. I've seen probably most, I would say the average, probably around 3,200 or so. And let me see if I can use the arrow. I can't. I can't dial this into 3,200. I don't know whether it's just me or what, but this is kind of funky. Okay, 3,203. Fine. Early retirement reduction days. Now, what this is if you are in a combat zone or some kind of designated zone, um, this will be on your orders for every um, 90. No, for every, what is it? It's right here. Um, yeah, yeah. For every 90 days that you serve on active duty during the specialized period, you could take 3 months off of your retirement, and you can't go below 50. Now, if you if you did the math on that, that means you would have to be in these zones for like 10 straight years to get down to 50. So let's say this person has zero of those days. It's called a early drop. It'll be written somewhere as an early drop, so we know what it is. Let's say your rank. I see a lot of E7s retiring, so I'll just put in E7. Now this is for the blended retirement system. This is the 2.0 versus the 2.5. I'll get into that in a second. So this estimates your pay. It says your yearly pay will be 12,000, and then your monthly pay will be 1,000. And it has this option here where you could project it out to 2060. Now what that means, it says right here, it will give you an average pay grade increase of 2.76. So it's just kind of a compound interest calculator built into this. So it'll take you to 32,000 with a monthly pay of 2,600. So this is with inflation factored in and COLAs factored in. But if this date was like tomorrow, you would use this one. Okay, so the current pension is for somebody that is retiring very soon or turning 60 very soon. The projected you would want to use if you're pretty far out. Okay, pretty simple calculator. Let me break down what the actual formula is. All right, and explain that a little bit. All right, so I got this is how we still do it at DFAST, believe it or not. Let's say you have the 3,500 points. No, actually, let's say 3,600 points, just to be pretty clean. So let's say you have 3,600 points. In the DoD, we only recognize 360 days in a year. That way we keep your retired pay the same every month. We keep your pay, your normal pay, active duty pay, the same every month. We keep civilian pay the same every month. You get it. So that's 360. So what this does is it says, okay, you have 5 days here, you have 9 months here, you have 3 months over here for this thing. You were deployed 18 months over here. If we were to condense your 20 years of spattered service into consecutive daily service, how many years would that be? So what we do is we take 3,600 points, which is 3,600 days that you served on active duty, divide that by 360, and that's 10, right? So we got 10 years of service. This is just your calculation. This isn't your 20 good years. Once you qualify for the 20 good years, you can retire, and then this is just how we calculate it, okay? So you have 10 years of active service over that 20-year span, if that makes sense. All right, so then for every good year of service, if you were in BRS, Blended Retirement System, you get 2.0% for every good year, okay? You got 10 good years, so that's 10 times 2%. So that's how you do 2%. And let me put it in my calculator. You guys can probably do this in your head, but it's late and I just don't feel like it. Let's do 10 times 0.02. That equals, I just moved the decimal. Jesus Christ. Okay, 0.20, that is a percentage. So that equals 20%. So what this is you are gonna get 20% of whatever the pay sheets say in the time you retire. And we're gonna take the highest 3. Okay, so let's say your highest average is E7, and then you have over 20 years, and let's say you did that for 3 years with COLAs. So I don't know, ballpark it. I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say that's 5,000. Okay, let's say that's 5K. So it'll show 5,000, and then you'll see the 20% of that. So let's say your high 3 is 5,000 times 0.20. That would mean that you are entitled to $1,000 per month. So that is your retired pay. It's not that complicated. They try and make it super complicated, but this is just the 20 good years. Now, Then you get into disability pay or disability retirement versus disability pay. I could explain that in another video. Then you get into redux, where you take a bonus for a reduced amount of pension. We could do the traditional, where you get the 2.5 and the new no TSP match. The other ones are CRDP, which is concurrent retired pay and disability pay. That one is confusing because people think CRDP is some magical extra pay that you get. No, it's just you get your retired pay and your disability pay together. You qualify for both. CRISIC, combat pay, basically combat pay. You were injured in combat zone, and you're eligible for retirement. I could talk about the differences between CRDP and CRISIC as well, but I haven't got those questions yet. So that's why I give you my contact info, so you guys can send me questions, or we can talk about it, or I can do your calculation for you. But as always, here is my info, and I can't. There you go. Okay, that's my info. Scan it if you want, and book an appointment. Again, I am Carlo Duran, the financial literacy specialist at U.S. Army Reserve, 88th Readiness Division.